Well, it's Friday. Welcome to the first of many. This is a new program for us. For the popularity that you, my viewers, have brought on, welcome to Saturday Pre-Flight. Yes, that's right, folks. It is Friday. It's the beginning of the weekend. And yes, we're all not going anywhere. Most of us are staying home anyway. So, hey, there's a lot of stuff that we can watch. The Saturday morning cartoons are back. We got the evening Sci-Fi Saturday with Svengoolie. We'll discuss later what is the movie of the week. And so much. And we also get to your comments. Now, we're doing the pre-flight in two parts. Two sections to say what's going on. One of them will be an informative thing, talking about many various things, from classic movies, TV series, and Saturday morning cartoons. The other half will be focused on you, the viewers, your questions and comments that you give on this Cuticast TV channel, and now part of Saturday Pre-Flight. And basically, hey, listen, there's so much to come. There's so much to come here. We know from the weekends that, you just love that Svengolie. You love the program when we talk about it. We love when right now my top videos are moving up, and most of them is talking about Saturday cartoons. And I love that. I love that you guys have brought this up, and you helped bring the channel up. Thank you. And I thank you for your comments, your suggestions, your subscriptions, notifications, and sharing. I know a lot of you have shared the video on wide across all social media platforms that we're on, all listed below. And I know this particular platform doesn't like us talking about those other platforms, but hey, listen, we have to spread ourselves out. When one place doesn't give us enough room to spread out, we got to put all our eggs in other places. So let's get started with the questions and answers. And we don't have too many this time around. So this won't be that long of an episode, but we'll try to do our best here. First of all, let's start with Vegas Mark 725. He says, nothing beats free except convenience. Why wait for a cartoon block in 2021 when you can watch all of them, some via streaming 24/7, 365? This whole METV cartoon thing won't last beyond 3 years tops. Do I want it to succeed? Of course. Do I expect it to last long? Do I expect it to last in the long run? Probably not, based on the past attempts by others in the post 4K/Vortex era and today's streaming era. Kids click, PB&J, and by the end of February, Kubo, all that tried and failed and revive an outdated formula for entertainment. I don't mind the nostalgia trips, but that's all that this is really, not to mention that it's very expensive to get the rights to air these from the likes of WB, Disney, Paramount, etc. Maybe if METV aired cartoons that are currently on a streaming platform or on cable network, then I could see the block extended its lifespan even further, offering shows that you can't find anywhere else, but that's not the case here. Vegas Mark, thanks for commenting. I have to partially disagree with you on that, it won't last beyond 3 years. And I'll tell you why. Classic television has been having a big boost in the last couple of years. Now, for example, METV itself has been one of the fastest growing channels around now currently. We pulling off the Nielsen ratings for the end of the year. Currently, METV is listed in it's in the top 25 at number 25 and growing, and it's up 7%. It's been growing about 7 to 9% every year for the last couple of years. Just to bring a little piece of something that was written in Variety that when these numbers came out, are reruns the future of linear TV? METV is up another 7% in viewers, while INSP, which airs some original with these classic westerns, is up 9%. Also growing are smaller diginets with diet of old TV such as Grit, up 6%, Hero and Icons, up 6%, Family Entertainment TV, up 5%. We have a target larger audience that is generally 50 and older, and in some cases even 60 and older, said ISPN CEO Dale Arnzone. And what we have found is that the audience that is relatively underserved niche, and it is what we like to call an audience of cord cuddlers and not cord cutters. And that is correct. See, the thing about it is, you're taking it from the perspective that every child is going to flip on MeTV and watch it. No. I mean, you'll get some. You'll have the ones that families that have kids and grandkids will try to introduce them to it. But see, the thing about it is, there's a lot of us out there. At my age, I just turned 54. And looking at the programming these days, and you've probably heard it on this show, you know, there's been a lot of woke programming. Star Trek, Doctor Who, Batwoman, a lot of the CW, Arrowverse, a lot of other TV shows, whether it's a regular drama or if it's a comedy. What we've gotten to the perspective now is that Hollywood, and I said this before, Hollywood is ashes. They're not creating the good movies as it was before, the great blockbusters of past. They're not creating the good TV series as it was before, where people watched constantly. And those of us who have lived already quite some time are looking for older programming. And it's true. And you know, there are many times I've introduced people to much older programming. I mean, I've introduced people to the TV series, the British series UFO. It's a great series. Blake 7, The Tripods, and many others that I've introduced. And people said, "Oh man, these are great. I've never heard of these programs before, and are there any more?" And it's the truth. There is a plethora of programming out there. Now, as far as the rights go, some of them are in public domain, which are easy to pull. There's a lot of cartoons that are on public domain, and still, I know that the Betty Boop and some of the Popeye stuff is in public domain, and I guess that's why MeTV has it. Some real old stuff there. Some of the older stuff, yeah, they'll have to negotiate. Will it be expensive? Not really, from certain perspectives, depending on the titles. And I'll tell you why. There are somewhere are libraries. And in those libraries are shelves of programming that are sitting there that are not on any app anywhere. Or some of them are being pulled to put on apps. Perfect example is Pluto TV. Pluto TV has a lot of great old stuff on there. They just added, within the last couple of months, a Mission Impossible channel. They have a Dark Shadows channel. And like I said before, they have Doctor Who. They have other TV shows, stuff from the MTV days, from the old MTV days. They have the stuff from the old Comedy Central days. And much more program, Baywatch, and a lot of others on there. But there's other programming that are just sitting there. Like there's a lot of Mr. Magoo programming out there that's still sitting on shows. I mentioned this before. There's a whole series of Mr. Magoo which does novels. He does half-hour mini movies where he plays different characters. Like he was in Frankenstein and Treasure Island and many other different stories. I think it ran for about 26 episodes. But that hasn't been seen in a while. Now, somebody mentioned before, and I got flagged on this. I can't believe I got flagged on this for showing the video and no audio. I'm still fighting on that one. Sabrina, the TV series, the original Sabrina series, which basically had the Groovy Ghoulies and the Archies and stuff like that. Not the Melissa Joan Hart series that everyone is used to. And not knocking on it. It was a great series. I enjoyed it. I did, because you remember I grew up with Melissa Joan Hart a bit. Clarissa Explains All, if you remember that series from Nickelodeon. But the Sabrina TV series from the Archies is much different. It's much different than what you've seen today. It's based more onto the comics, not to like what the changes they've made throughout the years with Sabrina. Where it is today on Netflix, that series that's on Netflix, which is a much darker series on there. And there are other great series that are getting I mean, a lot of people never heard of Danger Mouse, and Netflix picked that up, and then they picked it up and made a new version of it. Which the new version is, love the old version. And then suddenly on YouTube, noticing they've been playing, I don't know if it's the company that owns the rights to it, it's Duckula, which is like sort of a spin-off from Danger Mouse. Or was Danger Mouse, one or the other. And basically, you're starting to see those again. So there's a lot of room out there for METV to get stronger on this, if they play their cards right. And there's plenty other channels that can do the same. Like I said before, there's the Heroes and Icons and a lot of other IPs channels. And most of those channels are independent. And I'm talking, they're over the antenna waves. Even though they're on cable as well. But they also going to be picked up without any cable needed. It's basically antenna. That's all you need. All you need. The Movies channel, Heroes and Icons. There's a bunch more. And those channels, their ratings are continuing a 7 to 10% increase in viewership year to year. So it's a slow process, but more and more people are catching up and watching this. Notice Wonder Woman, I think, flipped over to Hero and Icons. And you can see why it battles in between them, because MeTV had it for a while. So these classic channels are pulling everything they can. And it is possible. Now, as far as Warner, and I'll tell you this. AT&T owns Warner. They're looking for money left and right. So right now, anything that's under the Warner banner is up for game. From any network, any streaming site, any app right now, because they need the cash flow, and they're going to give it cheap. They're not going to go expensive with it. Paramount, yeah, they're going to hang on to it. That's CBS on there. They're going to hang on to everything they can. Disney, they're putting stuff in the vault. So some companies might take an advantage and try to buy out some of the stuff in that vault. Not saying like Dumbo or Peter Pan or anything like that, but there's some other stuff in the Fox library they can grab on there. But yeah, like I said, there are other companies that that's not going to. Another company that might be out, and believe me, they're in trouble right now, is anything that's under the MGM banner. Anything that's under the MGM banner right now. I mean, experts are saying MGM may go out of business the way they go. I mean, they're doing that James Bond flick, and they're going into reshoots. And that's a lot of money that they're going into, but they also have an extensive catalog as well. So the nostalgia trips are not going anywhere anytime soon. Now, you said 3 years. They said the same thing 3 years ago with MeTV. They said MeTV ain't gonna last. Ain't gonna last. They can't live only on the Svengoolie fans. Well, guess what? They added The Invaders. They added Planet of the Apes, the TV series, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, Westerns. Their Western block does very well. They've added the Flintstones in dinner, what they call dinner prime time, which is like the dinner 6, 7 o'clock range on there. Perry Mason does very well on his spot. Alfred Hitchcock and a lot of the horror, the Night Stalker, all that does very well. I mean, they're averaging about 700,000 viewers. So they're reaching the million mark on their programming. And for them to add Saturday morning cartoons, I know a lot of people, especially in the Svengoolie chat rooms, they've talked about it. So if they're talking about it in the Svengoolie chat rooms, I can imagine in the other chat rooms. In fact, I saw 2 other classic film chat rooms, TCM, and another one that we're talking about in their chat room about the cartoons returning. We'll watch. Let's see what happens, Vegas. We'll see what happens. And let's hope you're wrong on that, because, you know, the formula's not outdated. And you know what it is also? Here's the other half, because you say it's an outdated formula. It wasn't an outdated formula. It was the government that changed it. It wasn't that it was outdated. It was that some people thought, well, kids need to be educated. So let's give them more education on Saturday. Kids were getting educated 5 days a week, a little bit on the Saturday morning cartoons. You did not need to kill the Saturday morning cartoons. You know, the kids need to have fun, have adventures, and watch stuff and learn things that way. You know, they need to see, you know, to filter out everything they've learned through the week so they can enjoy themselves on the weekend. And then get out and play. You know, plain and simple. Thanks again, Vegas Mark. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on a little bit. That was a little long. Olga Dianis. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I really wanted to see the new version, but no one could touch Jonathan Fritz Barnabas. That's the Dark Side one. Yes, you're right about that. The 90s TV show could be in the second on there, which was very good. If you didn't see the 90s one, it was well done for its time period. I don't like that much the Johnny Depp one because the way it was written. I mean, Johnny Depp could have held up on there because he's a very good actor, but it's always in the writing. And I think they were trying to concentrate too much. And I said this before. They tried to put too much into, what is it, about a 2-hour movie? 2-hour movie on there. And like I said before, you can watch this on Pluto TV. They have 24 hours. They are playing both the black and white and the color. I'm not certain. I haven't paid attention to how far they're getting up. Because there is one point where they stop and then they go back and roll back again. I'll give you a perfect example. The Doctor Who ones, they'll start at, I think it's the Daleks one. The Daleks invade Earth. They'll process through, they'll skip in between certain episodes, go through the eras. They'll go into the Bakers, the Davison, Colin Baker, and then Sylvester McCoy. Get to the end of McCoy, and then reverse back again. Skipping a bunch in between. Like, I know they've skipped a lot in the Key to Time. I don't think the Key to Time is in there anymore. And also the E-Space trilogy, they jump through it. I think they only do 1 or 2 episodes of the Key to Time, not the Key to Time, the E-Space trilogy, which that's the first when Adric is brought aboard. And they're caught in that alternate universe. But yeah, that's what they do. Like I said, I don't know how far Dark Shadows goes. If someone in the comments line knows, let me know. Thank you again, Olga. Yeah, Derek is back again. He's back commenting. Derek Penman, thank you again. He's a faithful watcher of my programming. Yeah, I finally saw the last hour of Venom on FX last Sunday, and it was amazing by what I've seen of it. Yeah, Venom, most people don't realize, and they said, Venom didn't do well, and this, and that. Venom was a decent movie. Even though it was PG-13, it did well. And the effects were good. The storyline, okay, you could bend it a little bit, but I'll tell you, it was fun. It was a fun movie, good action, had some good jokes in there. Those funny jokes, not to give one away, it goes, oh, I got a parasite in me. I haven't been feeling well. That's a good one. Let me just take a sip here. Oh, coffee's getting cold. But, yeah, and I'll tell you, a sequel is coming. And it's good. You're going to have Woody Harrelson as Carnage, which is an excellent choice. because basically, if you know the Carnage character is based on a serial killer, and Woody Harrelson has played serial killers before. He's a very good actor, and if you saw the ending add-on, the Easter egg at the end of the credits, you could see the little bit of Carnage in there, and it's just that's going to be excellent. So Derek, thanks again for commenting, and continue watching. Thanks for being there. Thanks for subscribing. Johnny Williams, love these names. Johnny Williams, wasn't there a Western name? Guy was Johnny Williams. Yeah, probably. I think it will be coming on METV and one other channel in the tail end of time. And that's the Saturday morning cartoons. Let me read that again. I think it will, except it will keep coming on METV and on the other TV channels in till the end of time. I think that's what he was trying to say. Like I said, Saturday morning cartoons, it's going to be strong. It will be strong. METV is growing every year. They grew another 7% according to Nielsen. According to the Nielsen ratings, they've grown another 7%. And that's a good thing. That's a real good thing. Thanks again, Johnny. Finally, let's get it from New Yorker. Are you supposed to be a New Yorker? No, a New Yorker. There are a lot of those loose ends that weren't tied up in DS, Dark Shadows. My main one was the revival of Vicky Winters being Elizabeth Stotter's daughter. Would love to see that. Would also love to see the return of Laura Collins as well. Thanks again, New Yorker. You might be able to see listen to some of on there. There are audio versions of the Dark Shadow series, new stories. There are new stories, and the voice actors are the original actors from the TV series. There is, I think it's, what's the name of that company? Even though I don't like Big Finish recently, because they handled the Doctor Who and they've gotten more. But Big Finish does have a line work of the audio. There's like one I think is Return to Collinswood. In fact, actually, you could probably hear some of them on YouTube. They might have some of them on YouTube available on there. Get them used. I'll tell you honestly, go to eBay. You might be able to find them on eBay. There are a slew of stories and new lines on there. Maybe one of those stories. I haven't listened to any of them yet recently, but maybe something might come up on there. And the other half, the reason, one thing about the evolution of the soap opera back then, some things do get to be finished, and because of the ratings and stuff like that, some things don't. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on All My Children, Ryan's Hope, One Life to Live. There are many storylines in between those that needed to be finished off, and they weren't really finished off because they didn't get time to. And it happens, and we hope that maybe some sort of novelization or some sort of renaissance or rebirth of the programming comes back and tries to resolve the storyline that you might miss. But like I said, New Yorker, if anything, go check out any of the audiobooks from Dark Shadows. There's also a comic book line too. I don't think that would have any resolve me. If you look back on one of my older episodes, I do discuss about that. There's I think it's like $50, I think, for a whole set. And it was some of the storylines that were just bent off in another direction. And it's the same thing with the two movies, and the audiobooks. So there's a lot out there. There's a lot out there, New Yorker. Check them out. Thank you again for commenting. So that is all up to date. Thank you for those who have commented. Remember, you can comment on any of our social media platforms. You can do it here if you're not comfortable here. We also are on Minds, Gab, Twitter, Facebook, BitChute, and Odyssey. So there are plenty of places you can see our programming and comment on it well. And like I said, please do comment. We're going to try to do more of these episodes. So continuing with the pre-flight, as we start to go on the runway, get the gangplank up, close the door. Saturday's coming up. The Svengoolie movie of the week. What is it? And we wait anticipation. I have a feeling it's going to be a little creepy one. Svengoolie?
This week on Svengoolie...
I haven't seen a spider yet, and I don't think we will.
Oh, you will? It's hairy-legged havoc in Earth versus the Spider on the next Svengoolie. Saturday night on METV.
That's right, folks. It's Earth versus the Spider, 1958 or 56? 58. Starring Ed Kemmer, Judy Kenny, Eugene Pearson, Gene Roth, and Hal Torey. I love these atomic monster movies. I do love them. They're my favorites. Stuff like this and Them and the Deadly Mantis. You love when, stuff that, the atomic age. They were talking about this. In fact, just to bring this up, Midnight Zest was talking a little bit about this because they were talking about Godzilla. And they were talking the differences with Shin Godzilla and the original Gojira. And saying that the difference is you were dealing with, in the original Godzilla, Gojira, you were dealing with nuclear fission, nuclear bombs. And in the Shin Godzilla, you were dealing with Fukushima. And you can see how the differences and the changes that happen. Whereas you could have the same type of movie, and if it's done right, scientifically right, it will work. It will work. That's the same thing. I think Earth vs. Spider has been redone once or twice on there under two names, I believe. And then, of course, there's a couple other movies that are similar to it. This one is a Burt Gordon. Love Burt Gordon. Did a lot of films on there. Burt Gordon was also known for The Amazing Colossal Man, Beginning of the End. You know where I'm going here. War of the Colossal Beasts. Anything that had to deal with freaking, even though he did Village of Giants, Boy and the Pirate, Tormented, Attack of the Puppet People. A lot of films that he's done. A lot of atomic era type films. And this is another good one. Mystery Science Theater 3000 did this one. This is in their library as well. It's a good take. Once you see this one on Svengoolie, go watch it again later on Mystery Science Theater 3000. They get a good take on that as well. So we've reached the end. We're taxiing on the runway. We're ready to get to the weekend. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't caught the other episode, please do catch that one. It should be already uploaded. We give a sort of a discussion on the 5 movies I think Svengoolie should be airing by now. And I give some good choices on there. And 2 of them happen to be ones that you don't hear too much often, and I want to do another episode separately talking about it. And if you haven't heard about the Bowery Boys or the Dead End Kids, East End Boys, there was a whole series of movies. There weren't only horror, there were horror comedies. There were also action detective type, but it was about a bunch of mischievous young men or boys, in the case with the way it is, with Leo Gorcey, starring Leo Gorcey, and it was a good take. Back when I was younger, they used to have Sunday afternoon. No, I'm sorry, Sunday afternoon. They used to around noontime. They used to have play a lot of the Leo Gorcey movies on a weekly basis. They're not too long of a movie. The average is about 70 minutes, 75 minutes on a film. So they were not that long, but they were good films. They were really good films. They were funny, a lot of comedy, and there were a lot of good actors in the movie. I mean, even Bela Lugosi, and you'll see that when you watch the next that episode. Bela Lugosi was involved in one episode. I think that was toward the end of his life. In fact, there's 2 movies on that list that are Bela Lugosi types. So, once again, comment below. Continue to comment. Hit that subscription. Hit that like. Share this video. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your Saturday morning cartoons. Be sure to get that cereal out, milk, all that. And then don't forget Sci-Fi Saturday Night with Svengoolie at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on your METV. That's right, you can find this programming, including the Saturday morning cartoons, and tune in with me on weekdays at 7 a.m., 6 Central on the METV channel. Check your listings. Generally, you can get it on an antenna or your cable listings. It's out there. If not, contact METV. Let them know you don't have METV and how you can get METV where you're at. So until next time, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on Madman with the Show on Wednesday and Thursdays. As Madman with the Show has been moved, we're only doing it on Wednesdays and Thursdays now. Fridays will be now Saturday pre-flight. And just to let you know, the Madman Cafe will be returning. Brunch with the Madman's return will be returning into the new quarter. Well, I believe, we haven't given a date yet. I believe it's going to be like mid-February that we're going to bring that back. So just stay tuned. We'll let you know. We're making some changes and adjustments. Like I said, this is part of the new the pre-flight is part of the new programming that we're putting together because this is what you want. Or as someone in one TV show, you wanted to see it. You can remember what TV show that was on. Then you've watched great classic television. So continue to watch us here on Q2Cast TV, home for anime, classic television, classic cartoons, good old horror and science fiction. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks. Bye-bye now. Have a good weekend.